Welcome back to the Reggies podcast. You're here with two blokes who could have been anything but chose to have fun instead. Groper isn't with us today. Fucking barely ever hear that bloke. He's just, you know.
We're just not good enough for him.
Nah,
We're not
I don't know
important
what's
enough.
going on. I kid. I'm fucking barely ever here.
We're joking, yes.
But the big fella is away with some work commitments. But lucky there's two of us here to hold up the fort, Jace.
That's right.
And there's plenty to fucking talk about today.
Absolutely.
As
We're
a hard-
balls deep in September, mate.
As a hardcore NRL fan, AFL absolutely turned it the fuck on.
Fucking didn't it, mate?
Holy fuck.
Even as a bit of a loser over the weekend, I can tip my hat to just an unreal weekend of footy.
Yeah, it was just entertaining, wasn't it, to watch?
Absolutely, and we'll dive into it.
So
for
we
sure.
got that. We got a bit of UFC stuff. We've got fucking obviously both codes with the finals, the games that happened, plus the games coming up. We got some news about the horse names. We've
Very
got
exciting
a
news.
final three that we'll share with you. And even though Big Vroom Vroom isn't here, we've got some motorsports.
We actually have found some motorsport.
I've got a
on our own back.
screenshot.
Yeah.
By myself. that
Which
I
is better
found.
than nothing, because we were thinking of just letting Tom just make the car noise like he does.
And moving on.
But we found something at
Yeah.
least.
So Groper will be happy
He'll
with
be
us.
very proud of us, won't he?
So to kick things off, we just wanted to give a huge shout out to Barrel Boss.
Fucking
So
absolute legend.
We've been setting up the studio. Groper, Jace, they've gone the heavy lift. Groper's always hooking in, the legend. You've got to give him that.
He's a toiler.
He is. And we've got our own fridge now. So we've got cold piss. Shout out to that, Jace. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Got cold piss. And we've set up the room. We got the big TV for watching sport. And these barrels from Barrel Boss, shout out to her again, they're unreal. So it's a 44-gallon drum or barrel with a bit of wood on top, and they're themed with our footy teams.
Just
man.
fully customised to whatever you want. But we've gone a Brisbane one, the Broncos, a Penrith one, Queensland Maroons one, and to our surprise, when Big G went to pick up all three of them, there's a fourth one there with the Reggies logo, the V off our jersey, and
Mate.
the Moya.
It is something to fucking behold. I reckon we might actually do a little video for him and chuck it in the RLC.
We have to show you,
It
because
just makes the room look real fucking Reggie, and I will be getting around those tables, whipping horses home.
mate, it is going to be perfect for the next couple months. Parking up on those barrels. It'd be rude if we didn't have our first one at the Reggie's table as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's starting to really feel like home in here.
It really is. It's starting to build. We said we wanted to have the Reggiest man cave possible. And
coming
Barrel
along.
Boss has gone the extra mile for us.
Yeah, so if you want a customised barrel with your team or anything you want on there, check them out. I think they're on Facebook.
Yes,
And
they
in the
are.
CQ region. They're located in Tannum. But yeah, massive shout out. It's one of those things you knew what you were coming, but actually seeing it where it's sitting there, you're pretty fucking pumped.
Even better in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
But
right.
we
So-
definitely need to show them a photo or video, because words aren't going to do it justice
Yeah,
for just how glorious these things are.
It's fucking cool. The Reggie's ones took us all by surprise. Eh?
Fuck yeah.
We weren't expecting
I
that.
was blown away by it.
So that'll be great. I think that'll be the one we hang around to whip horses
That
home.
will probably, if it ever gets to the point where it moves on from us, it'll be going to the Louvre.
Yeah.
Or some sort of museum. It's not going to be going in anyone's shed.
Fucking oath. But no, it's brilliant. Right, the horse guys. So obviously it's been a bit of a process getting everyone sorted. We wanted to involve the whole Reggie's community, but more so the ownership group. So we got a few name suggestions, and we put three up that were the most popular in and got voted on. The three were Zamoya, Reggie Tycoon, and Reggie Behaviour.
Yep.
So we let them have over the weekend to vote, and the results come back. Number one, Reggie Behaviour has taken it out. Zamoya, number two, and then Reggie Tycoon, number three. So I think we've explained it before, but you can't just put one name in and they accept it. You got to put three names in preference, and then they let you know which name it is.
Yep.
Fucks me why that's the system. I think it's shit, but that's how it is.
Yeah, we can't deal with it, can we?
But
So-
those three names, I'd be happy as fuck with any of them.
Absolutely. They're all three of them are glorious names that
Yep.
epitomise what this beautiful culture's about.
That's right. So pretty much how it'll work is if they like Reggie Behaviour and they see no problem with it, that'll be the name. However, if they see an issue, it'll work its way down. But that's it. So that will get submitted, guys, and our cult will be named
We've
very
done our
soon.
part, and now we're waiting for the big, exciting part. We'll know the name officially. We'll
Yep.
end up giving it a little nickname.
Yeah.
And then, really exciting times
I like
ahead.
Joe. I like just calling it Joe.
Well, yeah, that's
stable name.
A bit of a staple nickname already is Joe.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
we'll go with
it's we'll talk about that a bit more on the Punch Show, I reckon, and dive into it, because the one thing that Pulse do really well is update everyone. Like if you're in that ownership group on Facebook, you get regular updates on where he's at, and we'll let you know.
You're not missing a beat if you're a part of that ownership group. And if you're not and you're still like following on with this, well, we'll let you know on the show.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point on the show is we'll let people know the important things, but the owners get to know exactly what their horse is doing and when
What
it's
training runs it's doing, how it's looking.
So that's right. So we'll touch base a bit more with you guys on the Punch Show there when we're more talking about the ponies. But, mate, well, let's just dive straight into the fucking footy, eh?
Yes, what a weekend of sport. How good's September?
Yep, September is fucking great. It is great, but do you know, like when I used to be working a sort of job that I didn't enjoy and I was still on days off, but it was starting to creep towards the end, and I had that feeling of, fuck, I've got to go back to work. I'm starting to get that feeling right at the back. Like I'm pumped because it's right in the guts of finals, but I'm starting to get that little...
I know exactly what you mean. It's bittersweet.
Yeah,
You're so excited for the end because there's the big big finale, and you just go, "Oh no!" But after that,
well, for example, on a Friday night, or like on a Sunday night, or a Saturday Ave, or a fucking Sunday Ave, there's nothing on.
Yeah, you can only pull yourself so many times.
Well, it's fucking on.
What am I going to do? Even this Sunday, I text you boys and I just said, fuck, I'm loving the finals at the moment, but it's Sunday afternoon and I don't know what to do with myself.
It's like a man or woman who's addicted to meth and they have to get off it. It's like a come-down phase. And I think every sports, AFL or NRL, you go through that come-down phase after it and you mope around for a couple of weeks until you pick up something else.
I have been a bit mopey this week after the AFL, but I've still can appreciate what a game it was and what a game we got coming up.
We may as well talk about the AFL first because that's the
off the bat.
Well, I just reckon that's the highlight, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
dress the elephant in the room. I got to admit, I turned it on that last quarter and can't. That was just unreal. I thought the Cats, like at the end, that goal they kicked.
Yeah,
I thought fucking there it is. They'll hold them out. 2 more goals, cunt.
It was pure entertainment value if you're an AFL fan or not. And I had plenty of league fans coming up to me, knowing I'm a Cats fan, and saying to me, they're going,
"You're getting a hiding too in the RLC." I was getting
an absolute hiding in the RLC. But even from people that don't know anything about it, they were saying, because they knew I loved AFL, they went, mate, that game was fucking unreal. Like, I've never really watched it before. Why was that so good? And I was like, you just cannot explain it except for the fact just AFL finals is just a completely different kettle of fish, in my opinion.
That one was anyway.
Pure entertainment value
because like I said, I'm NRL through and through. However, I watched that last quarter and I went, fucking oath, how good is sport? And then nearly went to sleep in Roosters Manly.
That's right. And I'm not going to sit here completely shit all over rugby league because I love rugby league. I've played it my whole life. I've watched it my whole life. I've also watched AFL my whole life and played it before too. I love them equally. I can't compare the two, but pure entertainment value, and this year specifically, AFL finals, I think has been lengths and lengths ahead of rugby league because you've had your comebacks from Swans, Lions, absolute trilogy that we just talked about.
Yeah, or even the Hawks, like
that's right.
with Gripes.
Hawks and Port, that game,
some rippers, hasn't it?
Like the pure pressure and intensity that you can even feel from your couch watching a game of AFL in those dying moments.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a sport in the world that has that fucking my heart rate, man, watching that Cats game.
Yeah, you would have been thought that's your team too.
Yeah. So, and even if you don't barrack for either team playing, you
well, it was me as a totally neutral fan.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because you go 40-16. Roosters Seagulls, and you got to admit it wasn't a great start. First 20 seconds, you lose fucking what's his name? Kohler.
Kohler.
You lose Kohler and Jakey for a HIA. That sucks. But
that didn't completely affect the game though. And I just think the predictability of the NRL finals this year as well. It's pretty obvious it's a 2-horse race.
Like, we'll get to that coming up, and I'll pick the favourites here, so one of them will get an upset. That's guaranteed.
That's true. You might save it for us. You're going to save the NRL finals for us.
I will, because over the last 100 and something episodes, I've realised that I'm probably the worst sports analyst of all time.
And we still show up and we still talk about it.
I'll still give it a go.
It doesn't fucking matter.
That's why we're called the Reggies, which in hindsight, it was a great name for this show because of how bad I am at predicting sports.
Yeah, if we had have called it the sports analyst gurus,
well, we probably wouldn't be going.
No, we'd be shut down a long time ago.
It'd be like calling a tall man tiny, though. Like
we'd just be lying to your face. So when we weren't going to lie from the start, we weren't going to, what the fuck, these blokes know nothing. But
so that game, that was obviously a fucking barn burner. What was the other one?
So Sydney beat Port on Friday night.
That was a pretty one-sided affair, wasn't it?
That was fairly one-sided. Sydney led most of the way. I thought Port were going to put up a bit more of a fight early. Sydney tend to start a bit slower this year. Yep. But they got up by 36 points. Swans did what they needed. They just played classy footy, kept Port out of the game, just within arm's reach. Just you aren't going to get too close to us. So I think Swans have been the informed team this year, so you expect them to be in the position they are. But yeah, that battle on Saturday night as a Cats fan, that was pure pain for about 48 hours.
Talk us through it, man. Were you under the impression, like when Cats scored that goal at the end, were you pretty much going, fucking here we go, like surely...
Yep. That whole fourth quarter, I was stood up pretty much for the whole half an hour. I was standing up, pacing. I mean, cat scarf over me as well, covering my eyes in certain moments. And when Tom Stewart made the tackle to get a free kick up the field, Ollie Henry kicks the goal up by a point, and I went, holy fuck. I was like, I can smell the grand final. I can smell Melbourne next week. I can smell the MCG 100,000. Pedro looked to me. He said, there's still time. Did I ever think that Cam Rayner was going to kick one from 55 metres out and Calamachi was going to kick one around his body like he did?
Oh, that was...
Fuck no.
That was fucking good.
But that's just shows you how much the momentum can shift in a game of AFL in the finals. And just never say die. And the feeling of it was just gut-wrenching, but... I have clarity now to be able to look back and really appreciate that game for what it was.
Do you think a game like that goes like that and it's so nice to watch because they're two teams that are at their prime, best in the comp sort of thing at the time? Because, like, the thing that I don't like about AFL is when it's very scrappy and shitty and they're just dropping it everywhere and scrambling.
Well, if you watch the first half of that game, it was pissing down rain for a bit, so it was a bit sloppy. There wasn't too many outright marks. It was constantly the ball slipping out of people's hands, so it was a bit sloppy. But that second quarter the second half started to really dry up a bit. Yeah. And you're right, like you'd see some of the crazy Brian Myers goals, two of his goals, were just fucking unreal. Yeah. And the one that he kicked around his body, similar to Jeremy Cameron's, everyone can applaud that. The soccer one he set up for Ollie Henry. That kind of skillful shit, like you're talking about. But there was also points where both teams were missing set shots from dead in front, spraying them across the post. So it was this freakish shit was happening in this game, making it so exciting, and the simple stuff wasn't going ahead. Like Lions beating Geelong straight up the corridor the way they did, and that fast movement, that skill level was there, but the simple stuff wasn't going right.
Yeah.
And that's what for a pure non-AFL fan, that's why it would have been so fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
because the entertainment level was so high for all that skillful, some people say fluky shit, but I don't think you can call that game a fluke.
It blows me away sometimes, and obviously it'd be hard as fuck. I'm not taking away from anything from them, and they're absolutely rooted too, fatigued as fuck. But if their job is to kick goals, being at the front to kick goals, set shots in front, surely if they completely miss even the fucking behind, how the fuck?
I know personally myself, as a local fucking Queensland player.
Local goer?
Yeah, local goer playing centre half forward. I was not the best set shot taker.
Yeah, right.
I was better on the run.
You think it gets in their head when they have the time?
A lot of it is definitely mental, for sure. Because if you took the goals away and you place a bloke in front of them 30 metres away and said, put it on their chest, they'd nail it every time. But someone like Harry Mackay, who has been one of the premier forwards in the last few years, and he can't kick a set shot straight on drop punt, really, to save his life. No offense, Harry.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it was mental. The crowd getting in his head, and you could tell he knew. Like, you don't shank the way you do without it being fully mentally. Reece Stanley, from that close in front of the goals, to kick one to go behind by a goal with 30 seconds left, he was nursing an injury, but I think that was mental as well, hitting the post from that close like he did on Saturday night.
Yeah,
but you're right. A lot of it is mental because the skill set is 100% there.
And on that stage, man, like what crowd are you talking?
When you got 93,000 at the G, 93,000 at the MCG,
that
in the
also
prelim
adds
final,
to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. You're down by 10 points. Reece Stanley would have been feeling the fucking pressure through the roof in a situation like that. But you're right. You think you really simplify it. You go, you should be able to kick them.
I just think if old mate happens to be up the field more from where he normally is, and he's not, that's not his thing, is kicking goals per se, you understand. But I think, that's your fucking job, man.
It's a lot more, you find it a lot more in modern day forwards as well, they aren't the greatest set shot takers with just a normal drop punt.
Yeah, right.
It's starting to die off, and a lot more people are feeling safer kicking it around the body, like Harry Mackay.
But in saying that too, I'm not fucking sitting here saying I do any better, and they're fatigued as fuck as well.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it's just something I thought of. I'm like, fucking hell, cunt. Like, sure, you can just bang one straight.
And when you really simplify it, you go, you should be able to kick them. And, I'm guilty of yelling at the TV. Are you fucking kidding me? You're on $1 million a year.
That's what everyone does in their lounge room.
As I'm parked up on my big ass sinking tins.
But anyway, round of applause, pat on the back for the AFL because their
final
it's been
series,
very entertaining.
If it was ever a competition between the two sports and you look at this final series alone, I think AFL has really turned up the entertainment
at the moment.
It's not rugby league's fault though. It's not.
It's just the way the comp is. Like we've had a few comps where it's been a lot tighter, but when did? I was eating me words a couple of weeks ago when I thought Penrith were on a bit of a spiral, but you could go back about 5 or 6 episodes when we went into 2-horse race at the moment.
Yeah,
and like I said, this episode alone will cause an upset this weekend, but
I hope you're right.
But looking at it. Well, I hope it's fucking Storm. But looking at it from that far out, we said it seems like there's 2 pretty clear-cut teams here that are going to make the GF.
And the way the finals have gone, it's still like proved us right to this point. That Melbourne and Penrith win the first week.
But you never know with finals. But I mean, we'll see. But so AFL, take a bow so far. Quickly touch on the games from last week, though. I was up at Camo's place, ended up getting on the piss and watching the Cowboys and Sharks.
Yep.
I had the Cowboys tip, so obviously the Sharks won. How's Braden Trindle? Has one good game, and now he's the fucking next $1 million man.
They're very quick to blow things out of proportion, aren't they?
Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great half.
He is solid, but he's not $1 million.
And I think I just buzzed Rothfield that too.
A bit of mayo.
Yeah, I just fucking shat mayo all over that.
Drowned.
But Joey John said that something about 900 rings a bell in me head. I think he's only on like 300,000 now, so
he deserves a pay rise.
I think he's off contract at the end of November, so it's one of those things for Sharks. He's getting talked about in the media now. It's like, do they fall for the? Remember when Talakai got blown up as this fucking next massive thing?
10 good games.
And then, because he was on a streak, but he got blown into this thing of Origin and all this stuff, and now he's gone back to being a solid player.
Decent.
You wonder, edge. Do Sharks fall into the hype?
For sure, they would definitely feel the hype in the
Would they fall into the hype and offer him overs now?
Well, this has got to be pure hype because Sharks were 0-7 in finals going into this game.
I don't know how much. I got to admit, I don't know how much. Did he play the whole year consistently?
He was pretty well. He had a few weeks off because he got done drink driving. I'm pretty sure.
Beautiful.
But so that's another. Why would you want to throw $1 million at a player who's could be a bit inconsistent in that area?
Did he actually get done with drink driving?
I'm pretty sure. There's no way I plucked that out of my ass.
Yeah, him and Joshy were fucking both
charging their phones.
But anyway,
go charge him.
He did have a really good game, though.
He killed it.
He was fucking really good.
If Sharks had have lost and they went 8 losses in a row in the finals, would people be still saying Trindle should get that much? They would have went, nah, fucking Nico Hines, I can't believe he's done this again. He's choked. Trindle's no good. Sharks are a joke.
Well, mate.
They're just so quick to just
There's a pretty big test on his hands this weekend. I'll tell you what, if he pulls them through this weekend and gets them into a fucking grand final after beating the 3-time premiers and kills it, now we're starting to fucking talk. Because that was against the Cowboys.
Yeah. If he could do that against Penrith, I think would instantly just... You have no argument about him being able to not play
why do you pay players big money to win premierships?
That's right.
So if he stands up in that game and then does it against Penrith and gets them into the chance to win a GF,
Would it be
that's when you're starting to talk coin.
Complete clean slate. It would forget. Everyone would forgive him from Origin. Everyone would forgive him for the past Sharks finals appearances.
Is that Nico?
Nico, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends who stands up, though, because Trindle was the man last game.
Yeah.
Like, Nico did well. There's no shitting on Nico because, look, it might end up that Nico's role is to let Trindle run the show and he works in off the back, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
I think
it's
that
just the
works
pays
better for him.
It's just the pays on who's getting paid. What's a bit backwards. But, I mean, that's the whole point of a team.
How old is Trindle? Because is he young?
Surely he'd be sniffing around 30, wouldn't he? That's just looking at him.
Yeah,
Have a bit of a Google.
Just based off pure visual.
Yeah,
he definitely looks like he's
that's
not.
Me
he's
judging
25.
You're kidding.
So he's not even in his prime. He's not in his prime yet.
There you go, old Trindle, eh? It might be the next half on the fucking. Everyone's hunting.
No mean to disrespect you, Trindle. That you look like you're 30.
All right,
but you're playing like a 25-year-old. So maybe he could get his big break and be a marquee signing.
Yeah, it was that man child in the sheds.
Yeah,
pubes.
That one bloke that had a beard and pubes at under 10s. And everyone else, what the fuck is that?
Mate, like I said, he's got a big test this weekend, and I think if he does the same thing there and upsets Penrith, then that's
let
where
the footy talk. That's all they can do.
But
let the footy talk.
Yeah, scored 2 tries though in that game. So Sharks progress obviously, and then like we said, the Roosters Manly game, that was pretty lackluster for your second out of 2 games, sitting there hyped up, ready to watch footy. Shit start for Manly, like we said. You can't really do much about that, but then the Roosters just went on a fucking roll.
Scoreline looks like every Roosters game has this year.
It's like Tedesco keeps going, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
And everyone shits on him, including us sometimes. We're like, he's done. He goes, fucking wait,
I've got a few more Ks left in his old legs.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip over a few more times.
Because, mate, he was unreal.
He was one of the best on the ground.
So
that's finals experience seeping through him, I think.
That is finals experience.
A couple of big games this weekend. It's the top 4 teams remain.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Technically what it should be. And it's what everyone has kind of predicted it to be.
That's like a random stats guy thing, I reckon. How long has it been since that's happened? Because normally there's one little fucking
There's always
someone
from
sneaks
5th
through.
to 8th that sneaks through, yeah.
Well, normally the Sharks shit themselves.
Yes, that's right. They're usually straight sets. Someone usually goes straight sets, and it's usually Cronulla.
So we've got Friday. We may as well just go straight into the games, eh? Talk about a bit of bullshit after. But Friday, 27th of September at Amy Park, we've got the Storm versus the Roosters.
Yes. Team lists, not too many big inclusions from either team.
To me, this game, I'm not just coming from a biased Penrith fan, but I think Cleary back, the confidence there, they're fucking clinical at the moment. I just can't see the Sharks beating Penrith, but I reckon the Storm beat Roosters too, but this is me groper each way here going.
Yeah. Do you think they've got a chance?
Yeah, fucking oath.
I see what you mean. If there's any team that's going to get an upset, I think it can be Sydney.
Look, is $3.60 overs for the Roosters in a prelim final?
That's the thing. It's just purely credit to the Storm. I just think Roosters leak too many points against bigger teams.
Yeah.
So they can try and outscore Melbourne, but they won't. Melbourne's defence is just too solid. It's more of a fact of Melbourne is way too solid, and I don't think they're going to get to this point and slip up. Roosters have played exciting footy, and they're piling on the points against every team, but you can't do it against Melbourne. I don't think.
At Amy Park too, at home in Melbourne.
They'll get a decent crowd. Melbourne there's no other Melbourne teams left in the AFL, so
they don't get AFL Melbourne.
They've got to jump across and watch a different sport and really open up their minds.
Well, there you go. They should fucking pack the cunt out.
Surely.
They should anyway, but surely if they're all like, we suck at AFL, we may as well go.
Surely Storm is just trouting around Melbourne going, we own this fucking joint.
Now they're like, we're rugby league.
Yeah, we are. Look at rugby league. There's a Brisbane and Sydney coming down here for AFL.
Yeah.
Look at us, and everyone's sitting there going, fuck off.
Well, surely now the media down there would be pumping up this, wouldn't they? Because it's their only sort of...
I don't know. It depends. There'd be a majority AFL media there, so they're probably just turning a blind eye to it completely.
Yeah,
they're used to Storm success anyway, so...
Yeah, but now I agree, man. I think they win, but I just feel like out of the 2 upsets that could happen...
That's more likely than Sharks beating Penrith.
I'm just trying to make it exciting too. Like, really, the Storm should hump and Penrith should hump.
So now that you've said Roosters could win, does that mean Sharks are going to win?
Yeah.
And then win the premiership?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So,
put your money on Sharks.
So fucking get behind that, Reggies. But yeah, like you said, there's not too much changes in the lineups and that, man. Fucking Storm are rock solid, eh?
Yep. I think
having Wishart off the bench, hasn't he been a find?
he surely...
That's been the stormiest thing to ever happen, is that Wishart just come and just turn into this weapon.
Hey, mate, you're a son of a former great. Not many people have seen or heard of you. How about you come to us and we'll make you a fucking weapon?
No other club thinks that you're probably A-grade worthy. Just come here.
It's such a Storm thing that you could have the shittest player in the comp playing for Tigers, and if I saw Craig Bellamy say, I want him, I'd go, fuck, he's a gun.
But it's not even the shittest player. It's just a lot of them, I don't think, have that wow factor. Yeah. They just know that their work rate's good. They turn up. They have a good attitude. And then you can turn that into a fucking player that fits into the Storm system.
Bellamy just finds something about each player.
I think he just knows who's going to fucking play the role in the team.
Yep.
And that's what the Storm has been so good at.
Great man manager, considering he's the angriest bloke in the fucking
Well, mate, he jumped on a podcast with the boys the other day. And
Bellamy, Hughesy, and
well, it's almost like he's starting to fucking come around a bit.
Maybe he's starting to relax. He's getting near retirement from coaching.
They've been going pretty well too, though.
Yeah, he's allowed to be happy when they're sitting fucking.
I don't think he'd be doing the podcast if they were 16th.
No, if they had come 6th and lost to Raiders in the first week, he would have said, fuck you boys, piss off to Bali.
100%.
Let me have me holidays.
So both going Storm?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Yeah, and then, the next one.
And then at a core stadium in Sydney.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Shit.
I bet you do,
It
because
should be a fucking...
This still will probably only get 30,000 at the most.
Should be at fucking Penrith, mate. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are we getting out of being at a core?
You've got the final in the first week at Penrith Park, so why don't you get it here again? Is it because it's another Sydney team? No, he's played Roosters.
I don't know, man, but that's shit. What benefit are they getting at a core?
Nothing at all. Seeing the empty seats and that whole second tier completely empty.
Anyway...
I've shat all over a core too many times.
Well, it should just be at a fucking packed out Penrith Stadium with a home crowd.
Yep.
But anyway, it isn't. I honestly think something has to go pretty wrong, or do you know how the holes in the cheese line up for some teams and they just have a ripper game?
Yep.
I feel like that has to happen for the Sharks for 80 minutes for them to beat them.
Did the cheese line up for them last week though? Or was that just good, gritty, hard rugby
Well,
league?
I think Trindle obviously smuggled a lot of cheese in to the field.
Yep.
But
he had it in his back pocket.
But they played all right. But yeah, I just Penrith full strength team. Luai and Cleary, fucking.
There's no
clinical.
way the Penrith dynasty ends.
You
through
got
Cronulla in a prelim.
Leota and Fisher Harris, the Bash brothers up front, just charging forward.
A lot, yeah. Fish
if a half goes down, you got Brad Snyder fucking sitting there at 14.
Too much depth. We don't even need to pump up Penrith more than we do, because you all know what Penrith are like. They have been here. This is their, 2021?
They're pretty experienced in this position.
This is their 5th prelim, and this will be their 5th grand final in a row if they win. So they are walking in here calm, cool as a cucumber, going, we fucking own this stage.
Yeah,
there's no way they're going to let Cronulla come in.
Yeah. So on that note,
party.
Get on Sharks at $4 after that fucking hype.
Sharks Roosters grand final, Sharks to win.
Yeah, but it'll be good, mate. Should we check on how the boys are going in the tipping?
Yes. Oh, that's actually a great idea.
Let's have a look, and we'll do the same with the AFL after we talk about the GF. Look how Card's cranking.
Loading it up. Yeah, old Card and Lukey Smith. I went 0-2.
Yeah, I didn't even put my tips in it, I think.
Well, we're long gone anyway, so who gives a fuck?
Oh! ESPN fan 426019. Can't read the rest. Put a fucking name in there, bruh.
What the fuck?
Is winning.
Wow, so...
winning on for and against, isn't he?
Purely. Curly C and Luke Smith. I'm assuming that's OG listener, hey?
Yeah.
And then, Card coming fourth.
Yeah,
Card's a point behind now.
There's three on 141 points. SPN fan 426019. Curly C and Lukey Smith are all on 141. Yep. So they've got 3 games to fucking one of them to try and pull ahead.
This is still very much squeaky bum time.
So surely to me, if everything goes like it should, surely those two will pick the favourites unless they're really taking a risk, and then it's just the grand final that'll change them.
I think that's what they're all relying on, is because most people believe it's going to be Melbourne and Penrith.
So
not much movement's going to happen this week.
Card, if you're listening, you need to pick an upset this week, bro.
Yeah, but does he take the risk or does he rely?
No, he has to because he's 1 point behind.
Oh, yeah. And he can't win on differential from this far
Come
back,
on,
can
Card.
he? Unless he picks the exact scoreline of the grand final and the winner next week.
He needs to go hard.
He needs to take a risk. It's a big fucking risk, Card.
Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. 141 apiece, the three boys, 3 games left.
There's stuff are they sitting there shaking? Are they nervous?
Oh, they must be.
There's so much riding on this.
Here.
So much riding on it.
Fucking prestigious comp to take out.
Ooh, it is. You'll be getting a big prize at the end too.
Oh, big one.
Huge.
Big. And then the AFL's clear cut as fuck. Crowning the winner.
Mate,
now.
We've got
Bagger.
to go. Yeah.
Bagger 34. He's ahead by 5 points.
Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he had won last week.
I think he stopped tipping a few weeks ago.
Well, he went 0 last week.
Yeah, he didn't.
And he's still going to win.
Yep. So there you go. Bagger 34. Well done, bro. You've fucking taken the comp out of the
Lucky you've
Reggies.
won, mate, because your fucking team was nowhere near it. That's throwing
There you
a lot
go.
of stones after I just got knocked out last week.
So fucking look forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what the three boys go. Like I said, that is a massive call if they go and upset this week.
The tipping comp is more exciting than the actual rugby league finals right now.
Yeah.
If Sharks win, I'm not going to go, oh my God, Sharks won. I'm going to be like, who the fuck out of them tips Sharks?
I just hope this weekend, even if the two favourites win, I just hope there's a couple of points in the game where the other one's in the lead or they fucking have them on the ropes for a while.
Yeah.
Like, surely, I think the way Penrith win a lot of the times is they grind teams out over 80.
And I think Melbourne will do the same.
So I just hope that they at least dig in at the start, have a fast start or something, make it entertaining.
Yep.
But anyway, that's rugby.
Yes.
That's league.
Just quickly, before we move on to anything else, I just want to run through a bit more AFL, and it's in regards to the Brownlow Medal was crowned last night. And all AFL fans, all the community, pretty well everyone who's not a Carlton fan is just blowing up about this. And I think we just need to just woo up a little bit. It's not Patrick Cripps' fault. But anyway, he set the record with 45 votes and earns back-to-back Brownlows. That is what everyone is raving on about, is 45 votes. Is record-breaking and fucking... It's quite astronomical, I will admit. He definitely deserves Brownlow.
So for someone to get that many votes, do you think he would have had to play better than what he did throughout the season? Is that the thing that they're going on about?
Yes, for sure.
Like, he deserves to win it, but he didn't deserve to get as many votes as he got.
No way. Because to put it into context, even if you're not an AFL fan, you'll understand this. Dustin Martin, 2017, he set the record with 36 votes.
Yeah.
And that was fair enough. That is one of the greatest individual seasons. People are going to look back and say Dusty's one of the greatest midfielders ever. But then, if you look at the records now, Nick Dacos came second this year with 38 votes.
Yeah, right.
And now he's second on the list. And then Cripps is 45 in the win.
45?
45. You broke the record by 9 votes.
Yeah, right.
And it's just to a point where you look at Cripps' season and, yeah, he did carry Carlton in a lot of games and scrape them into a final series, you could say. And he was obviously their key player, but it was not a season that you're going to look back on and go, that was the greatest individual season. He deserved 45
I hope
votes.
he isn't getting heat from it, though, because it's not fucking his
No,
fault.
but that's what I mean. And people are just saying,
fuck the system
oh,
is.
Cripps walked into a cafe this morning, got a coffee.
Oh!
And he's gotten 3 votes just for waking up this morning. That's what the joke is. And it's like, it's not Cripps' fault. It's a lot of people are calling for a system change now because the Brownlow's decided by the umpires. They do a 3-2-1 vote.
Oh, do they?
Whereas Dally M Medal and League is the media and journalists and that. So people are saying the boys in green should not be deciding this anymore. Let the pros talk about it. But then when people...
Is that right? So the umpires call it?
So at the end of each game, the umpires do a 3-2-1 vote.
Surely they're more focused on watching what's actually happening than individual players.
Yeah,
well, I suppose they're right in the guts.
They're right in the guts, and it's a best and fairest medal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't think it's fair to completely call for the ump's head instantly after.
Well, that's what
That's
what we all do, don't we?
Yeah, we love going the
Any
scapegoat, any
drama,
drama,
ref.
fucking umps, fucking refs. But it's if you want, trust me, AFL fans, if you want a fucking journalist or an expert to decide the medal, there's going to be so much bias and just shit takes that you don't realise.
Yeah.
When some like
at least they're paid to be not biased, the refs, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. They've made a system so they cannot have any favourability or bias, really. There will definitely be slight bits of it, but not to the
Seems weird,
extent...
though, that much, doesn't it? The votes. Well, you can see why people are blowing up with those numbers.
100%. Cripps deserves a medal, does not deserve 45 votes, though. And I think it's just a case of inflation because, 10, 15 years ago, blokes are winning medals with 27 votes. And if Cripps is going to come
But
out...
isn't there only a certain amount of votes fucking a year that goes out, though?
Yeah, so 3, 2, 1 for each game.
Yeah. So it's not like there's more votes to go out now.
No, it's just a pure, it's same amount of round games.
Yeah.
And it's just that Cripps got 3 votes in majority of the games he played. So if Cripps is going to come out and get 45 votes, fucking Gary Ablett in his prime would have got 60 votes.
Yeah.
I think it's just, you're just going to see a case of this constantly building, and this is the new bar that's set. Next year, someone will win by 46 votes, 47 votes.
Have they sussed out who refed the most of his games or anything like that?
No, I actually haven't seen who did most of the
Because maybe
umpiring.
someone just loves him.
Oh, they could love Cripps. And Dacos as well. If Dacos had won by that many, there would have been even more of a fucking uproar.
Maybe one of the refs has a poster of fucking old Cripster on his wall.
Just waking up every morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a 3.
3 votes, P. Cripps.
Yeah.
But,
mate, breaking down the GF, talk to me. We got fucking Sydney Swans, Brisbane Lions. We get AFL. Sorry to all the sand gropers and the South Australians and the Mexicans, but where are you, bro? Where are you, bro?
Yeah, the rugby league states have gone ahead and entered into the grand final. First interstate grand final since 2006.
Yep.
With Swans and West Coast, but a Brisbane team and a Sydney team, the rugby league heartland. It's really, I don't know how to look at it from the point of I was saying before that AFL is lengths ahead of rugby league in the finals at the moment, but then you got 2 rugby league cities that are in an AFL grand final.
It's a bit, yeah. At least they're
glass half empty, glass half full.
So they're at a neutral venue though, which is fair.
The MCG,
it's fair for both. That they don't have any. I know it's not a home crowded grand final, whatever, but at least fucking they're both coming from where they're not from.
Yeah, both teams are former Melbourne teams though. So Swans used to be South Melbourne Bloods, and Lions used to be Fitzroy Lions. So they will have a fan base down there. They always do when they travel to
Would that make it more available for just everyday punters to get a ticket there than normal?
No, they usually have... It's pretty hard if you're not a member of either club or the MCC or the MCG to get tickets to the grand final. You're paying a fucking arm and a leg.
Yeah, you would be. You should have to, though. That fucking joint is off its fucking
100,000. Yeah, man, that is absolute bucket list shit. If you've been to a grand final at the G, you are a lucky human being.
Yeah.
But I am hurt that my team's not in this game. And a lot of the week I keep thinking about it going, fuck, we were just this close to being there.
Proper.
But I did say after that game, I started to get a bit more optimistic and really appreciate what it was. And I thought, I don't hate the Lions.
Yeah. Mate, I'll be saying it. I'm watching this like State of Origin.
It pretty well is.
Fucking, well, it is for me. That's how I'll be getting around
It's a big statement for either city.
That's how I'll be getting around it. I'm like, oh, well, Origin's in the AFL this week.
That's what you got to say,
boys.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't watch AFL would be like, you watching the Origin this week? They're like, Origin, Tom, it's September. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, we've taken over the AFL as well.
We've taken over.
Yeah, we're
Brisbane
here.
has taken over. But yeah, there's a soft spot for the Lions because growing up in Queensland, I've probably watched more games at the Gabba in Lions than I have any other team. Just growing up as a kid, that was, travel down to Brizzy, go watch a few of them games. So there's a soft spot there being the Queensland team. So I'm obviously going to barrack for them against Sydney, who I just don't like Sydney. I don't like cockiness. Players like Tom Papley, you're not a fan of.
How was that? Someone wrote...
Every game.
Someone commented right on TikTok, this didn't age well about the remember we were saying about him celebrating?
Go out in straight sets
celebrating how he was celebrating that time. And someone said this didn't age well. I'm like, didn't it age perfectly? Like the carry-on he had the other day where he got into that fucking stink with old mate and shit.
Every game he's done it. He did it against GWS. And now he's against Toby Green, which was a full circle moment. And he's done it again on Friday night against Port. He's like, we talk about how we love the character of the game, but there is no one that gets under
Well,
supporters and players' skin more than Tom Papley.
I think since you're not allowed to punch fuck out of people in sports, those sort of blokes are coming more and more. Like,
yeah, the sneaky jersey punches, and it is just a case of little man syndrome, and that's why you see a lot of small forwards doing it.
Anyway, he's fucking obviously gets under the right people's skin though.
Yeah, he does a great job at it. He gets under my skin.
So you're obviously going for Lions. So am I. What's your genuine thoughts?
Genuine
on the game?
thoughts on the game. I look at Sydney's play style, and like I said before, they've been the best team all year, hence the minor premiership, hence the position they're in. They just play never say die and solid footy, and they just chip away. They've got such a star-studded team on all formats of the field.
Yeah.
They're a class above at the moment. But I think the flair that Brisbane has and what they've showed in this final series, come back against GWS, the quick moments that they can just move the ball up the field, Rayner, Archie, Kyle Lohmann, blokes like that can just really rip the game open at the moment for Lions. And I think purely based off that factor is that Lions aren't going to feel the pressure at the moment because of the last couple of games they've played.
Yeah.
And I think they're just pure ability to rip a game open and their skillfulness is going to get them over the line against Sydney. And they will be so hungry after losing last year to Collingwood the way they did in that nail-biter. I genuinely think they're going to come in here. Fags has got them prepped. He's got them ready. You know, they've gone out in the finals in the last few years. They've made plenty of prelims, and I think this is their time right now. I'm backing them in to win the
fucking
flag.
oath. Origin's back. Let's go,
Origin
Queensland.
is back.
Let's go, Queensland.
And more than anything, I just
Fourth
don't want to
Origin
see Sydney to fucking win.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't want Sydney to win at all.
That's fair enough, bro. Yeah, well, happy days, mate. What time is that on?
2:30 is centre bounce.
On Saturday?
Saturday afternoon, yep. But you tune in a bit earlier, watch the pre-game entertainment. Katy Perry, she's going to have the boys roaring.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, I couldn't think of
oath.
anything else to really psych me up to play a sport.
Well, it's better than Meatloaf was in 2011, I think it was. That was known as probably the worst pre-game
That'll actually
entertainment.
work out really well because the Calliope Rodeo's on this weekend.
Well, perfect.
And Saturday night, I'm going to
Few
go and
pre-drinks.
absolutely turn one on. So be able to
Fucking
put
oath.
the fucking apple on and
This
then
will be
just
prime.
steam down after it. What time, how long's the game normally go for, bro? We're talking 2 o'clock here.
It'll wrap up probably 5:30ish.
Fucking stop it. That's
It is.
perfect.
Yeah, it'll be longer. You know, each quarter's around that half an hour mark anyway, and then you got your period breaks and that. But
Beautiful.
yeah, I'd look at around the 5:30 mark, 6 o'clock once you've seen all the celebrations. And
You got to watch it. If you don't have
gotta watch
anything
it.
you're going to do.
unless
just
it's
something
Sydney,
you
I'll
put
be
on.
turning the TV off. I'm
Yeah.
not watching them lift the fucking flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, both teams will be hungry. Sydney made a grand final in 2022. They lost to Geelong, so they are hurting probably still off the back of that. And Lions are hurting off the back of last year. So it's the last two runners up. So this will be a great fucking contest.
Bloody
I just think
oath.
Lions have too much flair.
Yep. Shout out to Flair
Fucking
and Queensland. Let's fucking go, boys. I just wanted to say before we move on from the footy and everything, if the Roosters do get knocked out, JWH, Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, probably his last game in the NRL.
Yep.
That cunt, like, he's a grub. And everyone knows he's a grub, but he's a grub that you want on your team.
Every team needs a grub like JWH.
Well, you want one anyway. Like, as in, he is
The enforcer.
He is one of the last old school props that we have got. It's felt like he's been this old since I was fucking 12.
He's always been 35.
He's just always seemed
always
like
been
he
that
was at
old.
the end of his career,
Yeah.
but was just so big and fucking
ferocious.
ferocious his whole career. Apparently, he's such a gentleman off the field and that as well.
Well, you
And-
find that a lot with the blokes that are so aggressive on the field. It's just a front that they do to really get themselves in the game, and that's their game
well,
style.
it's probably their game is letting all their steam out.
Exactly right.
But man, he's been fucking unreal. Like he'd be up there with one of my favourite props. Like
In the
it spring to mind to think front rowers. Who would you want next to you? That cunt is right there.
Modern day NRL era, he is one of the main enforcers that people will talk
just
about.
that character in the front
Fucking
row.
oath. And he was never afraid to take on a battle against anyone.
Fuck no.
The one I remember the most was him and Sammy Thaiday.
It's more. It's
2015.
more who was keen to battle him.
Pretty much. So who wants to fucking take me on? That
Yeah.
photo you've got right there just epitomizes him.
Yeah.
Blood pissing down his face, screaming up at the crowd.
That's why I just screenshotted it. The caption is "Run at me, you old prick. Fiery birth of Rooster's hard man."
There you go.
So I think he burst onto the scene when he was
Saying
young and
that,
just
yeah.
was just chirping cunts.
Imagine him coming through the system.
Oh,
the blokes around him in the team going, whoa, we've got an enforcer on our hands.
He's a fucking gun, man. He'll do a good job over in the Super League for a couple of years.
For him, yeah. He'll
great
he'll
career,
make a few palms shit their pants.
He's
for sure.
He's been entertaining. That's what he's been.
Yeah,
like you can't, even if you don't like him, you can't say that the game hasn't been better with him in it. Like blokes like him, it adds to the entertainment.
When he's been playing, when he hasn't been sin-binned or suspended.
Well, that's the entertainment.
Exactly. Comes on, swinging arm, bang, he's blowing up.
Especially when he's not on your team.
Yeah, yeah.
He's back at it.
A few battles against Brisbane too, and he would just enrage me. But he did such a good job at just being the front line for that reason.
Shout out to him. He's fucking had a great career.
Great career. Tip your hat to him.
Yep. Little stat, Jace, before we move on to a bit of boxing.
Yes.
Panthers versus Sharks, right? We've covered it a bit, but I screenshotted a thing from Random Stats Guy. Shout out to him.
Shout out to
Rando. The last 3 games, Sharks have not scored a try against Penrith.
Wow, that's right, because Luai fucking ripped and
round 12, round 22, and round 19. So he's just got the photos there. It was 42-0, 28-0, and then...
Jesus.
Actually, what's he got there, bro? Sharks haven't scored against Penrith. What's it say? Since...
So Sharks haven't scored against Penrith since 2022. They've been kept scoreless for 229 minutes. So they've played 229 minutes against Penrith and they haven't scored a point.
So that's not a great stat.
No, not at all. It's surely that's playing on their mind a little bit. Surely Fitzgibbons is saying we haven't scored a fucking point against these blokes.
In saying that too, though, they would have been the head noise coming into last game about bowing out 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. They'd have a bit of confidence on that, so they've shaken that monkey.
That's what they can't go backwards. I don't think they'll win, but they can't move backwards here after breaking.
You think they score a try? I reckon they score a try against Penrith, but
they're
I absolutely butchered reading that too. Sorry, it's like I had a fucking brain aneurysm.
Having a quick stroke.
Yeah, just having a quick. Right, boxing boys. AJ versus Daniel Dubois.
Wasn't this an upset?
Me, boys. So Daniel makes a huge statement, beating Anthony Joshua in front of 96,000 people at Wembley Stadium in the UK by knockout. He knocked Joshua down 4 times and finished him off in the 5th round with a clean right hand to the chin.
You could tell just the way Joshua was coming at him, and Dubois just... quick bang, slept him.
It's just fucking... That's why sport is so good.
Just the upsets.
Woke up that morning and... Because I got to admit, I didn't look properly of when it was starting. I'm pretty sure I checked an app and I thought it was like meant to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I thought I'll get up, go and chuck it on. But then the first thing I saw was like that knockout and I went, oh, and then watched the highlights. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Fucking
I don't
peppered
think
him.
anyone really saw that domination coming.
Nah.
Because it's just...
Oh, I'm sure a few blokes listening who aren't casual.
Oh, mate, we fucking been watching boxing for you.
I was fucking telling you, Dubois, fucking
Dubois, my boy.
Mate, fucking, there's always...
Can't believe you thought AJ was going to win in front of 90,000 at Wembley.
Yeah, man.
It didn't fit the script, did it?
But after that happens, you sort of look back at his fight against Usyk, where he hit him with that body shot that was called a low blow and had him fucked.
Yeah.
And you go, imagine if that wasn't called a low blow and he stopped Usyk then. But, mate, now he's a world champion in one division and you've got to imagine that sets up him straight away to fight the winner out of Usyk and Fury in December.
Pretty much. Whereas, like it feel like it doesn't really match the script that I think boxing people wanted it to.
This is the crazy thing. So it seemed like yesterday that it was Fury, Wilder, and AJ, right? Battling it out for the top spot at the heavyweights. It was just those 3 for us casuals. Sorry, turbo cunts. But us casuals that had the 3 there that were getting pumped up by the media anyway. Wilder versus Joshua was supposed to happen, but Wilder got KO'd by Zhang. Like Joshua versus Fury was supposed to happen, but Fury lost to Usyk. Joshua has now been KO'd by Dubois, and it's just like, it's like a lot of these things that are not planned to happen because it's always a fight, but what the optimum position to sell crowds and the hype. It's like it's been derailed multiple times in the last few years.
Spoken about for years about AJ versus Fury at Wembley.
They just didn't win when they needed to.
No, that's right.
But that's the thing that's why I love heavyweights and watching heavyweights fight gun. Because it's just
the
like,
script can just be flipped instantly. Yeah.
Whoever bombs the other one
But
first.
Dubois has probably taken too many punches. He couldn't even find his own caption for a post. He had to post to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
He copied and pasted it word for word what he actually put into the app. So people are just instantly going, this bloke is fucked. No way. And then he just went, well, I don't like to type. I like to punch.
But, man, you got Zhang and Parker as well. Joseph Parker and Big Bang Zhang. So you got all those like Fury, fucking
it's very exciting.
Usyk, Dubois. AJ still reckons he's not going anywhere. But the best part is he's got blokes like fucking Parker, Zhang.
The up-and-comers.
Well, a lot of them, they've been there a fair while
established enough, but to really break that next level.
It's not like now there's only those 3 people you can build a fight around. Like AJ can go and fight fucking Zhang or go fight Parker again. Or I'm pretty sure they fought. I don't know. But anyway, fucking sport's unreal.
We love sport.
That's why sport's fucking cool. That AFL final, and then you steam into waking up to that fucking thing where some people might have picked it, but in my head, the script in my head when I went to bed was AJ winning convincingly for some reason.
It's an Australian thing that we love the underdogs. We've spoken about before, but we love when shit doesn't happen the way it's meant to in sport.
Yeah,
and it seems obvious and simple, but the element of surprise and entertainment, we just fucking love it.
Except when I'm punting.
Yeah, I don't like the element of surprise in that. I like it happening the way I want it to.
I can never pick when the surprise happens. That's the problem.
I know. And if I could, I'd be a millionaire.
Me too.
A responsible millionaire.
Jace. That's right.
I fucking wish that was the case.
Shout out to Better. So that's boxing. I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff going on. Like I said, Fury Usyk, a lot weighs on that to see what happens with both of them, but it'll be interesting to happen.
Did I see?
Sorry.
I don't know if this was legit or not, but it's Tyson Fury blowing up after AJ lost saying, "You just cost me 150 million pounds, you silly fucker."
He might have.
So
I don't know.
That would have been a fucking monstrous fight. And he's obviously probably saying that from the fact if he beats Usyk and then AJ beats Dubois and then...
Oh, it's just that storyline of them fighting's been around for a long time and they're both getting a bit long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Fury more so. I feel like, well, who knows?
Even if Fury loses to Usyk, do they still fight each other? Surely it's okay where you both lost. So
well, that's what I reckon. That's the thing that's going to most make sense. If he loses, then they were like, oh, well, let's sell out Wembley.
Fucking, if you're pretty much selling it out for AJ versus Dubois, you would fucking have to add seats on the
Even
roof
if they lose
at Wembley for those two cunts. That'll be huge. Eddie Hearn will be drooling.
For sure. But yeah, so anyway, there's a bit of boxing. UFC. So this weekend there's a fight night on actually on the Sunday.
Yep.
And I don't know, I'm not going to go through the whole card, but there's a pretty interesting one I reckon. The main event, that Benoit Saint Denis, who lost to Poirier. He was on a fucking steamroll, man.
He was.
Got put up against Poirier, and the old dog fucking showed him he's still there to stay. But he's fighting that Renata Moicano. So that'll be an entertaining fight. That's one of those ones for free.
Did Moicano fight Gagey a year or two ago?
I don't believe so. No. I don't think so. He might have, man. But
so they're two blokes that have been sniffing around the top. So this is
he fought that Jalen Turner. He fought Jalen Turner. But I think I just think Saint Denis gets the job done by either KO or submission. But so put all your money on Moicano.
Well, Saint Denis was meant to be the next contender, pretty much, and Dustin.
Well, man, that's
fucking foot in that.
Exactly. But before that, man, this fucker's an animal.
It's right.
Yeah.
Fucking no.
So I don't know. I just can't see him losing. But yeah.
So that's a fight night card too. That's not
just
a pay per view.
No, not a pay per view.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure about the rest of the card. I'm sure there's some cool fights on it, but I'll just be tuning in for that main event, I reckon.
Yep.
And watching. And how's this for a dead set casual rugby league watching fucking UFC
This
card?
is the most rugby league card you could think of.
UFC 308. So we've got the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway, stand and bang. Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. We've obviously got our boy in there, Plus, Kamzat's a weapon if he doesn't get the sniffles.
Yeah, if Bobby dictates the fight, it's stand and bang.
Yeah, I think so. But I think Kamzat will probably shoot and fucking... But in saying that, he had a pretty good war with Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, fucking oath. Bobby
What a
Knuckles,
battle. Yeah,
get the
that's
fuck
our
in
boy.
there. Let's go, bud. Cyril Gahn versus Alexander Volkov. However, I screenshotted this today, but I read an article saying that Volkov was out of the fight, so maybe. I'm not
True.
sure. Magomed Alkaliv and Ratchik, they're fighting. So Ratchik, Yuri Brahaska fought him when we were at the tavern that time.
Oh, yes.
To get
That's
a title
right. Yep.
shot. So old mate can go too. So you'd think that'd be like a next sort of person, like a contender to fight next for the title after the next one. And then you got that pirate bloke, Mogomedov, the dude with the one eye. Oh. Yeah, that Shara, the pirate. And then even the prelims, dude. You got Dan Ige fighting. You got fucking Jeff Neal versus Rafael dos Santos. Justin Tuffer. Justin Tuffer.
Wait, so is Justin Tuffer the one that pulled out and then his brother came in for him?
Yeah.
So now he's actually fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but talk to me about standing and banging and some entertaining fights for us casual rugby league fucking
no,
biffers.
that is Rugby League FC.
That's Rugby League FC.
That is fucking awesome. And what we mean by that is we've said it many times, we don't like sniffing, we like punching.
Yeah, we don't like winning on the feet for 2 minutes, then sniffing for 3.
We're
just to
pure
win.
casuals. We want to see cunts get knocked the fuck out.
Fucking oath. Or
And that's
choke
what
the
it
fuck
is.
out.
Did you see Max saying to Taporia, he said fucking about the pointing, how Max pointed to Gagey.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I did it to him, like, Ilya's not going to know what to fucking do.
Well-
and he's pretty well said, like, I'll fucking stand and bang
Well,
if you
Ilya
want.
was sort of saying, oh, why don't you do it at the start of the round? And Max was going, well, his IQ's fucking shit. Why would I do that?
Yeah. This is two blokes that are just like, Max is completely established in his stand and bang ability. We've seen that. And Ilya, the new champ, he knocked Volk the fuck out. Like, can you imagine seeing them two just slogging?
I'm fucking keen.
That gives me a big
such
fucking rugby league
That's an
UFC
exciting.
stiffy.
That's an exciting fucking fight.
That is going to be electric, man. I'm gonna
And
fucking
then you
love
got
it.
Bobby Knuckles. The
Yes.
only problem with it is it's in Saudi. So
Oh, it's not it is
nah.
two.
But man, if there's any card to just fucking set the alarm or just charge through, I think I've got
You
a
got two
fucking
options, yeah.
Jai Hansen. It's his fucking 21st.
Perfect.
in
So
Rocky.
you'll be saying
So we'll
charging
I'll
through.
just charge through, bro.
There's no way you're going to go to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. and wake up in 2
I'll just
hours.
chuck it on.
Just charge through.
Charge.
Fucking no. That's the only way you can do it is if you're having a quiet night, set the alarm.
So it's perfect, really.
Perfect. Absolutely. Kick-ons, watching stand and bang.
Watching
and then you won't want to
rugby
ever go
league.
to sleep again.
Nah, probably won't.
Fucking no.
Sleep Monday. Righto. Well, that's a bit of biffing. Time for the motorsports.
That had some real grunt about it at the start.
Well, this is going to be short and sweet, but like I said, we wanted to make an effort and get something in there.
We wanted
There's
to
a
make Dad proud.
Couple of lads on 2 wheels who, for fucking forever now, have been killing it. And even though I don't watch the sport, I don't think they get enough credit for what they fucking do on behalf of the country. And that's Jet and Hunter Lawrence. So Jet gets the championship and Hunter gets second. Proves why he's the number 1 and becomes your 2024 450 SMX world champion. So, fucking well done,
Round
mate.
of applause, boys.
Well done, boys.
It speaks volumes that I know fucking nothing about motorsport, let alone like motocross.
Yep.
And I know those two blokes, and
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that they're doing our fucking country proud.
Well, they're fucking starting to become household names for a lot of us, and they should be. If
Absolutely.
someone's in any field they're doing
How
fucking
proud-
kicking ass like that.
Would the parents be?
Oh,
It's always astonished me when siblings
They
are
should
at
be
the most
getting old.
elite level.
they should be getting old man Lawrence to blow on a cup and study it.
Oh, fucking that is some
He's shooting,
strong
first
seed.
and second loads.
That is some fast seed. How's
Mate,
he gone
they
and
should
done that?
They should be getting his loads, separating all of them. Because imagine if those two won the race, you got to imagine the rest of the 200 sperms that lost the race would be better than every other cunt.
There would be a lot of fast motocross riders who
So
have
I
been shot
reckon-
in the back of the mum's throat.
I reckon freeze Mr. Lawrence's loads and start pumping out some motorbike fucking gurus
Just all the Lawrence
before
boys,
it's too late.
Yeah, it's probably going infertile pretty soon.
So yeah,
start freezing them.
Drain Mr. Lawrence.
If you haven't thought about it yet,
yeah.
do it. But yeah, it's always astonished me when siblings like, It's not luck because it comes from pure
Pretty
skill.
fucking wild though.
But you think about, like, you know, someone's like, oh, yeah, they grew up in this town and they've made it famous and they played 20 games of fucking league or something. Imagine having, like, such elite level siblings coming from the same household. Like,
Do you reckon?
oh, it just blows me away.
Do you reckon Hunter's ever like, for fuck's sake, Jet? Like, if it wasn't for you, cunt,
I would be the
killing it.
greatest.
Yeah.
And
Fuck you. Do you reckon if
there'd
they
be no
get in real
spotlight.
heated arguments, Jet just stabs him? Like, as
Pretty
in,
much.
he wouldn't. They'd be supporting each other. But you know, when you get really angry and it's like a proper, be like, well,
You
you're
just wanna
just
kill
on
your
better than
brother.
you, cunt.
yeah, well, I'm better than you. And he's not wrong. But he's like, fuck, you're the second best in the world and he's the first best. And he's still, that is just the absolute epitome of a sibling doing a sibling things. Well, I'm better than you because I'm the best in the world and you're second best in the world.
I don't think that would happen, but I'm just saying that, I don't know.
If it did.
It may. But anyway, shout out to the boys.
Great sniff for captain of the week.
Boys. Yeah, look, he's fucking right up there.
Anytime an Aussie's doing something on the big stage, let alone two,
Yep.
fuck,
Mate,
siblings.
have we got anything else to talk about? Big G normally does his cricket work.
Yeah, I know we've been playing ODIs against the Poms, but I'm not too sure.
I'm not going to drag it out for no reason, you know. I haven't done my cricket work.
If there was something remarkable to talk about from it, I think I would have seen it. But,
And I think we'll cover a bit more of it next week. Like we've got a couple of days, fun days around the barrels in here planned.
Absolutely,
to shoot a few fucking fun episodes to hang around and linger over that Chrissy sort of period that relates to a lot of cricket content and best of sort of stuff, rugby league biffs and heaps of shit
moments
like that.
from the year as well.
Plenty happening in the studio, so heaps to look forward to, guys. But before we fucking go anywhere, we got a couple of people we need to shout out, bud.
Two main people
Do the
that we
honours,
need to
Chase.
shout out. It's the Standard Squeeze.
The Standard
They're our
fucking
day
Squeeze.
one, Tom. We can't hype them up enough.
No.
And as we've mentioned, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't gone into BCF, you will notice that they are now in stock at most BCFs.
And if they aren't, just say to old mate at the counter, hey, brah, how you going? He'll go, yeah, good, thanks, man. You'll be like, hey, mate, have you got any Standard Squeezes in here? And he might go, yeah, just over there. If he goes, oh, what's that? You'd be like, mate, bring him in. Heard you stock
Are you
him, bro.
fucking blind to death?
Yeah, come
or
on, mate,
stupid?
get him in. But
Do
in
you
all
hate
seriousness,
money?
food grade plastic, guys, to put your piss in, camping, fishing, chuck them in the boat, chuck them in the car, roll around in the golf buggy.
Absolutely.
They literally are made to put your piss in. It's lightweight, it doesn't smash, and it's a fucking great product
tell
made
you what
by
it's
great people.
Perfect for as well
Mm-hmm.
is that everyone's local comps should be finishing up around now.
Yeah.
So end
Trips
of
away.
season trips.
Bus
Even if you're an
trips.
NRL player, an AFL player,
Yeah.
the boys are on Mad Monday, you're going away to Bali, whatever it is, take it with you. It is perfect for the long haul.
Exactly. So if you want to get around Ash and the team from the Standard Squeeze, get onto the website and use the code Reggie15.
Because it gets you 15% off and you're just going to lose money if you don't.
That's right. Just standardsqueeze.com.au.
I think it's just standardsqueeze.com.
Try both. One will work.
Hey,
and,
if you just look up Standard Squeeze on Google, you're going to find
and
it.
fucking hit it. Give them a follow on the socials as well. But yeah, use
absolutely.
the code. Not only does it give you a discount, it shows that the fucking support's coming from you, legends. Get around the people that get around us. And talking about people that get around us, CTC, baby, Country Trucker Caps, Captain of the Week. This guy's been around us for a long time as well, the Knuckler and the team at CTC. They do a great fucking job. You will not get far in this country right now and not see at least one CTC hat on a country dome or a city dome. They're starting to creep into the cities
They're
too.
everywhere, mate. If you don't see this trucker cap with two stripes on the side, then you must be blind.
Or
'Cause
lost.
They're pretty fucking hard to not find at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. And it's for good reason because they're fucking great hats. So head to thecountrycompanies.com. The Knuckler's always got some great and entertaining designs. And you got a business, a piss up or anything, you can get your own hat designed on their website, countrytruckercaps.com. It's the best thing ever. Customize your hat. It's the same fit. It's a great fucking mold. And if you want to have a laugh or fucking show a statement or just get your whole body out of the sun, get yourself a stonker as well.
Fucking oath.
So, Captain of the Week, Jace.
Yeah, we mentioned it just before. I think it's pretty fair that we give it to the Lawrence boys.
Me too. That's
Absolutely.
coming from a couple of blokes that don't like motorsport, but
Know
I think
nothing
this
about it.
bloke Jet just continuously fucking wins whatever he does over there. So there's one for Motorsport, boys.
Fucking
Jet
he
Lawrence,
speaks
captain
volumes
of
of
the
us. We're putting in the hard yards without Dad here to run us through the
Yeah.
Motorsport shit.
Dad didn't even tell us that we had to do it.
Yeah, he didn't say, boys, don't forget
Yes.
to cover the Lawrence brothers or something in this.
Motorsport, don't
Yeah,
tease him.
Motorsport. Don't make fun of him.
So you wait till he listens. We'll get a big
Yeah,
pat.
we're getting big pats when he comes
big
back,
pat.
aren't we? Big belly dad.
Anyway, boys, get around. And girls.
Oh.
Get around. Yeah, what do we got?
Did we actually say a squeeze?
No, you didn't.
How's the form on us?
Oh.
How is the form on us?
I reckon that Melbourne gets squeezed for the AFL Heartland not producing someone in the grand final.
Melbourne. So Victoria is a state, actually. Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia, Northern Territory. I think they can all take it.
Yeah,
because
everyone
that is
apart from
AFL
Queensland and New South
predominant.
Wales.
The 2 rugby league states
Yeah.
are in the AFL grand
So
final.
other than the Origin, the
Pretty
rest of Australia who doesn't take part in the Origin gets the squeeze.
Absolutely. That's
Right.
fair. That's fair
All right.
enough.
Well, look, I think you fucking nailed that personally. Lads, gentlemen, ladies, get around the AFL Grand Final this weekend. I will be. I think it'll be a great spectacle.
Even
Chuck
if
it
you're
on.
not a fucking AFL fan,
Yeah, just watch it for the fucking
trust
game.
me. Give it a watch. The blokes that are going, I don't want to fucking watch AFL. That's fucking shit. Just watch it, because if you didn't watch the prelim and you don't understand the feeling of an AFL final can really do, and that constant buzz and the pressure, turn on the grand final this weekend. You will not be disappointed.
And watch us turn one of these sure things into an upset.
Watch.
That's purely off my own
Yes,
bat.
that's right. Watch it be the shittest grand final in years, and it'll be it'll be Sharks versus Roosters in the grand final next week.
Can't imagine that.
Dude, imagine Swans win by 100, and then it's Sharks versus Roosters.
Yeah,
I
probably.
will genuinely start saying the opposite of everything that I want to happen.
Wait, you might be onto something there. I might start doing that with my UFC tips.
Wait, let's just start doing it on the punch show. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Well, I
not
can't
going
fucking
on
lose,
number 7 here in the group 1. Not at all. It's
Pressure on
shit.
me again this week. I just scraped through. Now I've got to maintain the not negatives.
Yeah,
But anyway,
it didn't
that's-
really move you away from the pressure. It's still building.
Yeah, that's for next week. We'll give you a bit more of an update on old Joe the horse and let you know
Young Joe.
young Joe where he's at. And have a fucking good and a safe weekend, Reggies. Love
Absolutely.
yous.
All right.